the Isiah Factor Uncensored. The city of Houston has taken steps in the past to address human trafficking in the city, and sometimes people can forget that this is something that happens to real people on our streets every day. A woman we met 5 years ago named Peaches was a stark and sobering reminder that prostitution on the streets of Houston is very real. Real with a schedule of fees for the working girls.
Mostly my prices are 30 for head, 40 for sex, 60 for both, and I get special days too. Meaning if it's hot as hell out here, you'll get the special, which is $20 a head. I catch no mess.
Peaches has since turned her life around, but there are still dozens, possibly hundreds of women on the streets of Houston turning tricks. Some of the victims of drug abuse and others forced on the streets through a cycle of violence and, of course, human trafficking.
I mean, this is my lifestyle, and there's nothing nothing's gotten better since I've tried. I've tried to go to other people and get help. Nothing's gotten better.
Now I am joined now by Tracy Dudley with Project Girls and Sheila Whittle from Free the Captives. Now, guys, obviously the city of Houston has been working on human trafficking for the last year. They will announce next week the results and how impactful they have been over the last year. Do we still have a serious problem when it comes to human trafficking, when it comes to prostitution here in the city of Houston? Tracy Dudley, let's begin with you.
Thanks, Isiah, for having me here. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of work that's being done. One of the things that we're excited about, that we have been meeting with individuals in the community, leaders in the community, to find out who exactly is interested in collaborating and beginning the conversations about opening an assessment and action center. There's many organizations that are fighting in this city against this crime, against this, individuals that are victims of this situation. But I think it's time for us to join together. And so conversations are happening to be able to find out who is interested in coming to the table and being a part of a collective agency that can serve the victim in a one-stop shop.
Sheila, let's bring you into this. When you look at the picture here in the city of Houston, how bad is the problem? Is it still bad? Have we put a dent in it?
Houston is one of the major hubs. It's known all throughout the nation that we're one of the major hubs of human trafficking. And unfortunately, if one girl is still being sold, it's way too much. We are making so many efforts. We have great organizations. We have great law enforcement who are fighting this fight. But we need all of Houston really to be a voice for these girls. And at Free the Captives, we're hosting a rally in October, and it's going to be called the We See You rally. And we want all of Houston to come together and tell the buyers, we see you. Because without the demand, there won't be need for people to buy young girls.
Tracy, now you're an advocate, you're out there helping people, but at one point you were out on the streets doing what these girls are doing now. How difficult is it for them to come off the streets? What holds them out there?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many faces to sex trafficking. Honestly, there really is. There's so many avenues and ways that people get introduced to the life, what keeps them in the life. September, I've been out of the life 14 years, but I can tell you that, even though I was introduced to that life, there came a time where I became very intrigued by that life. I like the idea of the money. I like the idea that it could support my drug habit. I like the idea that it gave me some control and some power over some of these men, that I could have them, we were the ones tricking them, So yes, things have definitely changed. The dynamics have changed greatly. Yes, it is a crime. Yes, the women are victims, but it's very difficult because we get introduced to a victim when we want to serve them. We find out what their needs are, but we believe you've got to start up here. You can't start hitting down here where some of those deep wounds are, because up here they're loving the life. They're loving the game.
And you have to break that down.
You got to break that down, then start dealing with some of those deeper wounds and trauma and things like that.
Tracy Dudley, Sheila Whittle, thank you guys for coming on the Isiah Factor Uncensored. Coming up after the break, find out how an adult film star would be getting